My name is Swaniker. I'm the founder and CEO of the African Leadership Academy. And my dream for the future is that Africa rises to become one of the most prosperous and beautiful continents in the entire world without all the challenges that we see today. And that it's a continent that are full of opportunity for everyone that lives on it. ALA was founded about 10 years ago based on a very powerful dream that Africa could be made great simply by solving one big issue that we saw, which was the issue of leadership. The co-founders and myself, we had lived and worked all around Africa, and everywhere we went, we saw that there was tremendous opportunity on the continent. But the single biggest problem we had was the quality of the leaders that we had. And so we thought, instead of just sitting back and hoping that the continent gets good leaders one day, could we find a mechanism for actually developing the right leaders for Africa that we needed? Leaders with ethics and values, and who could be entrepreneurial, who could create the jobs that we need on the continent, who could provide the governance that the continent needs, and who could really solve not our small problems, but our big problems. Seeing how just a few leaders like Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu, just one or two people, transformed an entire country like South Africa. And so I believe that if we can find more young people like that and develop them into significant leaders, we can really transform the continent. And we're looking for those people who, when they see a problem in their community, they don't sit back and wait for someone else to solve it. They actually step up and say, I'm going to do it. And so that's when we hear all these stories about there was no water in my village, so I built a well to provide water for my people. There was no school in my refugee camp, so I created the school. My teacher used to come to class drunk all the time, so I took over and became the math teacher. There was no electricity in my village, so I created a windmill and generated electricity from it. Then we say, well, if you did all that without anyone supporting you, without anyone investing, imagine then what could happen if we support you, invest in you, surround you with other like-minded young people like yourself. Imagine what you could do on a much bigger scale. As we've been walking along the journey, we realized that you can't create a world-changing leader in just 2 years. It takes a lifetime to develop someone into a leader. And so therefore we had to change the way we conceptualize the ALA and to think of it not just as a 2-year program, but as a program that stays with these young leaders as they progress through life. And we began expanding our team and thinking about how can we support these young people when they go into colleges. And that's why we started developing the host family network and helping to get them internships back in Africa. We had to think about mechanisms for keeping them connected to each other. And so we started doing the indabas, where we bring them together every summer to reconnect with each other across different classes. And now that they're graduating from universities, we have to start thinking about how do we get them jobs back in Africa. And then now that some of them are coming back to Africa, we have to think about how do we support them once they get back to be successful. What really, I think, inspires us all and wants to make us contributing is seeing these young people and the dreams that they have and the impact they're already having in the world. These young leaders have the opportunities to create the jobs for the billions of people that are living in Africa today that don't have jobs. They have opportunities to solve our problems with healthcare. They have the opportunities to provide housing, education, water, and all these things that we don't have in Africa today. And so if these leaders get it right, we're talking about transforming countries that today are poor, are in war, have all kinds of challenges into what could possibly be one of the most beautiful and prosperous continents in the world.